So now we are going to break down the script and go through the process of creating a storyboard. So here is our script, and it says exterior forest day. That is our location. Ingrid runs through the forest. Peter is just behind her. Ingrid turns around and sees the dragon approaching behind them, sending fireballs through the air. Pete, come on, hurry! Peter is trying to catch up with her. He stumbles and falls. The dragon gets closer. Peter sees no chance to run away. He closes his eyes and waits for the worst, just when Ingrid appears. She stands between him and the dragon. Ingrid draws her sword and fights the dragon as he attacks. Ingrid fights furiously. Her sword digs into the dragon's eye. The dragon screams in pain and flies off. Ingrid goes back to Peter. Are you okay? I'm fine. Well, you're something, Ingrid. They're safe. For now. So what I do first is prepare a blank sheet of paper, either physical paper or on Photoshop or another program. And I put some frames. What I want to do here is sketch very quickly and not really think about it, just feel the flow of the story and the beat. So I'm going to start with the first scene with drafting a scene where the characters are running away. And here either I have the character design or I don't. In this case, I can just imagine how the characters would look like and kind of design the forest as well. So I'm starting with that and drafting quickly where the characters are going to run. And what I need to do first is to find what the perspective is. So I quickly draft that with lines just to give an orientation how the perspective is. And I'm going to use a diagonal angle here because the scene is dramatic, it is action scene, and I want more diagonal lines here to make sure I convey the drama within this sequence. Next, I want to emphasize the dialogue where Ingrid says, Pete, come on, hurry. So I'm going to signify that and turn her head towards Peter while she's running, still keeping the same pace. Next, I want to show her running away, so she's much faster than Peter, and she loses sight of him in a way, trusting that he's going to catch up with her. In the next shot, I'm going to have a wide angle where we see the location, and I'm going to have the wide angle from the bird's eye view, because I want to amplify that they are small children in a big forest and there is a danger looming over them. Also, I want to show the location of the branch that Pete is gonna stumble and fall on, and just to have a hookup for the later action in the scene. Then I want to show him running and approaching the branch, but he's not looking ahead of him. He's trying to get away from the dragon and make sure that he's in a safe distance. So he turns his head to the dragon. And in the next shot, I want to show the dragon because I want to show what he's looking at. It's still not his point of view, so I'm not showing the dragon from an angle where it is Pete's point of view, but I still want to make sure to point attention to what Peter is looking at. And now I am showing Peter from the dragon's point of view. And he is a small child trying to run, and the dragon is really strong and dangerous. Notice that I keep the direction of the running always from screen left to screen right, because we have the camera on that side of 180 degrees. And as I showed that he's approaching the branch, the next shot I want to have a close-up to make sure that the viewer understands that he actually stumbles on a branch. So I'll put a close-up on his feet and the branch. And next we want to see Peter falling, so I'll do a medium shot where Peter is going to fall forward. And I'm going to signify with the arrow that the camera follows him down until he falls. And that is going to be the next shot, the final pose of Peter falling with the camera move. And now we want to go back and see what Ingrid is doing, because now we've seen the story from Peter's point of view, and Ingrid is also a main character, so we'll have to go back and see what she's doing. And in the script it says that Peter is closing his eyes until Ingrid appears, but we also need to take part of how is she feeling and how does she discover that Peter is gone. So we go back to her and draw a picture, draw a frame where she's running. And she's still running, and now she is pausing to make sure Peter is behind her, and she doesn't find him there. So now she is really stressed, so we want to see a real close-up of her to show her emotions. And she looks up to see even the dragon, so she gets even more distressed and worried. And now we see from her point of view what she's seeing, and she's seeing the dragon approaching Peter. She takes very quick decision, and in the middle shot now we leave the close-up, we go back to the shot, to the previous shot where she's in the middle shot, and she changes direction now. So she goes from right to left, and now it's okay for her to run in this direction because, you know, we've seen her changing direction in the screen. And now we see the dragon approaching. We are going to signify this with a shadow and have a bird's eye view on our characters to signify how helpless they are. So the shadow approaching, looming over Peter. And we are closing in to Peter to signify the danger approaching over him. Also, it is a way of delaying the action to have the viewer wait for the payoff. And we see the dragon from the Peter point of view. And now we choose an angle, a low angle, where Peter is all alone, he's closing his eyes and he doesn't want to see what's gonna happen next. But nothing is happening, and he opens his eyes to see, and now we bring Ingrid in. So we are basically changing the perspective of the story forth and back from Peter's point of view, from Peter's perspective, how he is experiencing the story, and from Ingrid's perspective, how she's experiencing the story and where she's coming in. So the script is really a good base for interpretation for you as a storyboard artist. So now Ingrid is coming in, fighting the dragon, and we are looking over the shoulder now on Ingrid, just to signify that she's taking charge, she's gaining power over the dragon. And again, she's fighting the dragon. The dragon is a pretty serious enemy, and she is just a little girl. So for that matter, it is nice to choose different angles where she is bigger in the picture, and then when the dragon is larger on the picture, on the screen, just to have the dynamic of the fight being unequal, but then also for introducing that she is also very strong and very skillful and has a chance to win. And then we have this shot where she's nailing the dragon with her sword in the dragon's eye, where the dragon is taking a big part of the screen and Ingrid is just a little girl, but still her success will feel larger if we show a composition where a little girl is winning over a beast of this size. Her heroic movement, her heroic role is greater at that, with that image. The dragon flies off, and now Ingrid is seeing what's happening, making sure that the dragon is gone, before she pays attention to her friend and runs off to check on Peter. And here at the end we have the dialogue, "Are you okay?" And Peter saying, "I'm fine." "You're quite something, Ingrid." And they're safe for now. Now this is a rough thumbnails. Now we'll have to break down those thumbnails and make sure that they work as storyboard frames. I always do thumbnails when I start storyboarding, because you can move these images around, you can skip an image or you can add an image, and it is just your drawing table before you go in and draw the frames that will go into the animatic for the final approval of the director or even of the editor. And that's what we're gonna do next.